Okay, big welcome team to our Team Freedom training on I think it's the 12th today. So yeah, really excited to be here sharing this with you today. I'm up here in Brisbane. I got an invitation from Linda to be a VIP guest with Simon Chan, the founder of MLM Nation, which I've been listening to for the last probably year and a half now, and you know I'm listening to MLM Nation all the time. You know, it's just incredible. I love it. I'm always picking up so many incredible tips and tricks that the top MLM earners in the world that are using. So I'm here today. Adam just rocked up actually too. So me, Linda, Adam, and Simon's here. He's got a workshop running, and Linda's going to be the first Juice Plus representative to be on his show. Now, my aim is to be, because I actually told Linda that my goal is to be on his show. It's my bucket list to be on the MLM Nation show. And so she told Simon that yesterday, and he said, get me up here. So I dropped everything, cancelled all my appointments, and I flew up here today. So I'm just here. Everyone's in the workshop. We've just ducked out to do this training. And yeah, really excited. In fact, Simon got me up on stage, and he asked me to share what I was earning and all this sorts of stuff. And, you know, he recognized Linda as the top earner, in one of the top earners in the company. And, you know, the whole, it's pretty cool when you're in a room full of entrepreneurs and we're sort of being recognized as like the best of the best. So, you know, I think that's a big thing, guys, to remember, is that, you know, what we have created in here in Australia is something very special. And not to lose sight of that. You know, it's crazy. So, guys, a few things today. You know, I've been hanging out with Linda a little bit, and I've been listening to what's going on here. And I think, you know, there's definitely the biggest theme that I would pick up on is that, you know, just keeping things simple. Keeping things simple is really the key. You know, complexity kills action. And people get overwhelmed, they don't do anything. So just keeping it really simple. So based on that, you know, I've gone in and refined our starter system. Okay, now there's a checklist, the getting your business started checklist. Now I would be sending that to your new team members. Okay, and then there's a checklist also now for the upline. Okay, that you think, just a checklist, simple, step by step, one foot in front of the other. Guys, if you and your team follow that checklist, you know, you're going to get off to the best start possible. Now, there's a welcome video as well. So the get started welcome video for new team, but there's the get started welcome video for new customers as well. So they can just find the tools that they need. Yeah. So when I'm starting a new team member now, what I'm doing is I'm actually sending them the customer welcome video. Okay. If they're not already a customer, and I'm saying, okay, so step one, just go and read the JBT guide, get familiar with that, understand that. So they understand the value that's in the program. If people try to start posting and sharing and doing everything before they understand the value that they've got to offer, then you know, it's not going to be as effective anyway. So yeah, first step, I'm just getting them to, you know, go in, download the guide, have a read through it, understand it. Awesome. Before I add them into the team group. Okay. So there's really 3 simple steps when someone starts. It's they order their product, they start sharing on Facebook, and they do their launch event. So when they order their product, I'm just like, okay, so go on. Part of ordering your product is being a part of the program. Go check it out. Come back to me when you've done that. Awesome, done that. Then adding them to the new SDVF group, because there's just limited files in there, right? There's the get started checklist. There's the starter guide, social media script, and the first 2 weeks of posts ideas. Okay. And then there's a couple of videos. So I'd keep them in there until DVF. And in the getting your new team member started checklist, it's got that all mapped out, guys. Yeah, it's just step by step. Okay, then add them to Team Freedom. And Kate's going to go through that in a little bit more depth with you now. You know, and I would say, guys, you know, there's really two things that a new person needs to really focus on in their first month, right? And the two key skills are mastering your story. So what is your story? And the second one is learning to invite. Now, all the other stuff, you know, how to do this, and like we can often get distracted. And I know I did a call last night and I was talking about using Snapchat, and I was talking about how to create stories on Snapchat and then share them on Facebook and some really cool stuff, right? But that's all extra stuff. You know, the core basics is, what's your story? How do you share your story? Where do you share your story? Why do you share your story? So when, where, how. So your story, right? And just, there's some really good, cool videos on how to share your story. And in the starter guide, it talks about, in the Juice Plus starter guide, it talks about how to master your story. Okay, even if you've only just started, you've still got a story. Your story is why you've started, why you're excited to take Juice Plus. Okay, so that's the most powerful thing we can share with people is our story. Okay, and I think we've been overlooking that a little bit. So just going back, and I would encourage you guys to film yourself sharing your story. Now, you might not post that. If you do, I think, you know, that's really powerful too. If you've got an awesome product story, I would definitely be doing live video. If you've been taking the product for a while, you've got a good story. Well, everyone's got a story. That's first and foremost. Everyone has a story. It's just maybe us helping you bring that story to life. Okay. But yeah, live videos, guys, it's all about video now. That's how you get engagement, and just being vulnerable, sharing your story on a live video if you've been on the product for a while. The second thing is learning to invite. Okay. So how to, you know, Linda talks about being the master asker, becoming a master asker. Now, you can do that anywhere, social media, in person. They're the two skills we really need to hone and master to become successful in this business, right? So there's some great videos on that stuff. Mastering your story and learning to invite. Did you notice that posting on Facebook isn't in there? Now, that's important. That's one of the 5 high-paying activities, posting on Facebook, right? But it's not the number one high-paying activity. Is inviting people to take a look, take a peek, you know, to just take a peek at this opportunity and what we have to offer. That is so those are the two main skills. Now, I know everyone knows how, well, you know, posting's easy, is easier, right? It's often the most uncomfortable activities are the ones that we avoid, but they're generally the ones that are going to put money in our bank account, give us the most success in this business, right? So I might leave you with Kate now. She's going to go through kind of the start, getting your new team members started strong, or getting yourself started strong. She's just going to follow the tools that we have. You know, we've created some amazing tools there. It's very simple, straightforward. Step 1, step 2, step 3. There's even a video there. If, you know, maybe you don't do checklists, there's a video there to, you know, correspond with that. But yeah, guys, you know, we're on to something special here. We're on track, guys. We're on track this month to do, I don't know, like 800 to 1,000 new customers this month, which is almost, it's well over, it's nearly double what our record in the past. And last month was last month was a slow month for everyone. So it's just blown it out of the water, and it's crazy. So you're all a part of that, every single one of you. And the fact that you're on this training call tells me that you're taking this seriously, that you want this, that you want a better life, that you know, you're getting clear on why you're here. And you can never fail in this business. You can only fail to grow. Okay? So if you're not getting the results that you want in your business right now, just ask the question, what do I need to learn? What are the people doing that are at the top that are getting the results that I want? What are they doing? So what do I need to learn? Mirror and model. You know, find the guys that are creating success. You know, a part of the reason I'm here is not just to see Simon. I thought, how cool would that? You know, I spend a day with Linda. You know, how cool would that be to spend a day with Linda? You know, it's the coffee. It's what we're going to talk about at coffee. It's, you know, Linda's adding value in the workshop. She's like, oh, I've got, she's sharing value in the workshop, which is freaking, it's amazing. So proximity's power, right? I even offered to chauffeur them up here today. Oh, I'll come pick you up. But they had to drop the kids and stuff like that off. So proximity's power, guys. And right now, your proximity is very, very close to the top leaders in the business. So you're doing the right things. You're on the training calls. Your proximity is close. Keep rocking it. Thanks, guys. Love you all. I'll leave you with Kate. You're in amazing hands. She's just about to go National Marketing Director. This month, she's going to go 24 Club. And before the end of the year, she'll be a National Marketing Director. I have no doubt, 39 Club, National Marketing Director before the end of the year. She's had her ups and downs. And maybe, Kate, before you start, you can just share, some of your challenges in the beginning. Please share your story, because I know that you didn't just rock it. You actually, I'll let you share your story quickly, and then you can get on to the other stuff.
Awesome. Thanks, Lorian. And yeah,
thanks, guys.
Thanks for jumping on. Yeah, I do plan to share my story today, guys, but I'm actually going to share it as I deliver the team training, right, and how to get started strong, because I'm lucky enough to say, I did start really strong. I was exactly what Lorian and Adam asked me to be. They asked me to be teachable, they asked me to be consistent, and they asked me just to do some stuff. And I know we say it over and over again, but I just want to demonstrate to you how I put that into place, how I made that work. But then I'm also going to share with you that it wasn't all, everything was positive and, everything was easy. And I'm actually going to share some of my challenges in my journey and how I overcame them. So I hope that it's going to be really beneficial for you today through the team training. I'm also going to make it really, really, interactive. So I know that you're all on mute, but if you can turn your video on, please turn your video on, because I'm going to ask for people to raise their hand at different points and tell me, if they have ever gone through that, if that's ever happened to them. And, if you have a specific question that you just want to dig a bit deeper about what I'm talking about, feel free to take yourself off mute. We can go into that a little bit deeper and then we'll move on. And also too, if you can't talk, if you're sneaking this at work or that sort of thing and you can't talk, you're doing this secretly and silently, you can pop it up in the chat and I'll look at the chat as we go along as well, all right? So I hope to make it really interactive. I hope that it's going to be something that you guys can actually take and use straight away. So if you've got a pen and paper, I really recommend that you start writing stuff down. I know, that's one of the things that, I really picked up early on is that wherever I went or whatever I listened to, whatever I was doing, I had a notebook and paper and I just write down the things that stood out the most to me. And I've never actually opened those books back up again, but it did activate a different part of my brain to switch on, and it really sunk in. And not long after, I started repeating the stuff that I'd learnt, even though I had never gone back over and restudied it. So basically, just to kick off, and I'm going to weave my story in through getting started strong, right? And I have to say, when I started, which was in March last year, we did not have the tools and the systems that we do have right now. So, we had some of it, but we didn't have a checklist, right? We didn't have this amazing, getting your business started checklist so that you could just go step by step through everything that you needed to do in any order on this list that you want to do it and tick it off at your own pace. We didn't have that. I basically had to keep going back to Lorian every time going, okay, what next? Okay, what next? Okay, what next? So, and that, you know, to his credit, he loved that I kept coming back. But, you know, sometimes I got frustrated because I just wanted to do it when I wanted to do it. So I love the fact that we all have access to this list. And, you know, I even implore you that even if you're at SDVF or SC and you're feeling frustrated and things aren't happening for you, why don't you go and do this list for yourself? You know, I'm certain that there's some of the things on here that you haven't even done. Okay, so this is the interactive part. I've got a thumbs up there from Lou. Thanks, hun. Lou is about to go SC, and I know she's at that tipping point where it's so frustrating and she could just walk away right now. She's like, I want to pull my hair out. But that tipping point, I can tell you she is on the other side of greatness, right? So she's just the epitome of pushing through, and anyone else there is feeling like that, please connect with Louise, start a sideline buddy chat and get each other through. You know, I'm here to support Lou, she's my team, but you guys are sideline, right? You can share that with each other and connect with someone who's at a struggle point of almost promoting and help each other get there. I see Tamara's hand up. I love it. Love it, babe. She's almost QNMD. So, you know, we're all here together, right? We're all doing this together. So, you know, make a sideline buddy and help each other through those struggle points. But I'm just going to do a show of hands, right? Honestly, no judgment. Lorian's not even on here to judge us, right? So hands up. Let's laugh about that because, yeah, he likes to, like, why haven't you done that yet? Hands up, who has not watched the customer welcome video in the Juicy Body Transformation group? Hands up, who hasn't watched the welcome video for customers in the Juicy Body Transformation group? Awesome. Okay, we'll go a step further. Who hasn't downloaded the guide or read the guide? Hands up, who hasn't read or downloaded the JBT guide? Oh my God, Louise, put your hand down. Okay. I'm so proud that most of you have read it. And I know, you know, Louise, details and reading stuff is just not high on her agenda, but she is an amazing product of the product, and she does live the JBT lifestyle. So, but guys, even if you think you're too busy to read details, you know, just get it printed out, a page a night on the coffee table, that's cool. You can do that. You know, it costs, I don't know, $20, $30 at Officeworks to go and get printed. Put it on your coffee table, a couple of pages a night. All right, who has watched the team welcome video in the pin post of our Rocket to SDVF group? Hands up who has watched it. Who's watched it? Awesome. That's pretty good. But there's a few that haven't, right? So why not go watch it, all right? What about, you know, who's actually utilising their upline to help with welcome calls with their new team or event follow-ups? So who's utilising their upline for welcome calls with follow-up for team? Yeah, we've got a few shy little hands. I know I do it all the time, right? I absolutely have either Lorian or Adam, because Lorian's very busy now. I reach further up to Adam, okay? And I have them at every follow-up or welcome team meeting for my new team, okay? And I really encourage you that, you know, if you're finding that maybe, you know, your upline is busy for whatever reason, you know, trying to build their own business or with their life, that you just go one more up, right? Or you go another one up. I mean, we are all here to help and support each other. So, you know, I know for my girls who are almost QNMD, I'm still doing some follow-ups for their team because they're still building, trying to get to QNMD, right? So please feel free to just keep reaching up. We're all here to support you. Other things like, who's watched the game plan video in our team? Game plan video. Awesome. Okay. If you haven't, that's something you can go and do. And I don't care if you're QNMD or SSC. I don't care. You can still go and do this checklist too, because you know what it's going to mean? It's going to mean you're going to be a better leader for your new team. because you're going to understand exactly what you're going to ask them to go and do. And I can guarantee you, if you're not prepared to go and do this, your team won't be either, okay? As the leader goes, the team follows. So if you're willing to walk the talk, they will follow you in your footsteps, okay? So anyway, I'm not going to go to each and every one of those things, but it just goes to show you that even some of us who are SC, SSC, haven't done the things on this list, okay? And, there's really important stuff in here. Just a show of hands, who has listened to Jim Rohn, How to Build Your Network Marketing Business? Jim Rohn. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's a definite must. Go and listen to Jim Rohn. It's for free. We've got the links. What about GoPro? Show of hands, who's listened and watched GoPro? Listened to, read, watched. Oh, that's a bit better. That's good. Okay, GoPro is the how to do our business, guys. It's going to give you the skills that you need to actually go out and do this every day. So if you want to be professional at this, if you want to make it, a professional business for yourself, please, you can download it and you can listen to it. I mean, my car is my university. When I'm cleaning my house, I'm plugged into personal development. It's really, really key. So getting back to my story, I did get started really, really strong because I did the 3 things that Adam and Lorianne told me I needed to do, which was I was teachable. So every time they told me to do something, to listen to something, to watch something, I did it. I did it in my own time, but I did it, okay? And I was present, I took notes, and I took it in. The second thing that I did was I was willing to do some stuff, okay? So if they told me to set up a launch, I set up a launch. If they told me to, do a post, I did a post. How to talk to people, have a 3-way call. I did all of that. I was 100% teachable and I was willing to do the activity they said to do it. Did I feel always comfortable and always confident? No, I absolutely did not. I did not in the beginning. It felt so weird. I know that my sister-in-law will attest to, she was one of my first 3-way calls, which was like awkward as hell. But it just proves that you can never say the wrong thing to the right person, right? The time for her was not right then, and the call was quite awkward, but we still followed the process. And over the course of 6 months, she watched what I was doing. She watched how I changed and how I grew, or how do you say that? And anyway, now she's about to go QNMD. So as awkward as hell as it was in that call, as fumbled as much as I did, I've got to tell you, I was just so bad. And Nat will just say it was so bad. It was so uncomfortable. It was so bad. But you know what, guys? She's here. She's about to go QNMD. So it can't have really been that bad. It felt terrible, but it really wasn't that bad. Okay, it's just I made it feel so much worse than it actually was. And all I had to do was sit back, be genuine, be me. And eventually, over time, she was willing, she was open, she needed something. And then she came to me. I never approached it again. And she'll say, yep, she's telling the truth. She actually came to me. So, guys, be willing to do and be teachable and be a product of the product. And I think if you're not taking and using both products, then find a way how you can, okay? Do a 30 complete wholesale order. Get on the capsules and really download the JBT, get it printed, start cooking from it, start living it, start sharing it, because they were the things that made me successful. I walked the talk. So I would cook, I would spam with photos of recipes that I'd created. I'd even have the recipe in the shot. If people asked me for the recipe, I'd send it to them. And I was the product of the product. Now, I'm not saying I was Kira. and I'm never going to be Kira. I don't look like her. I don't have the same body, but I don't need to. I just had to be me, and I had to be authentic and share how this had changed my life and how it was changing my family's life. And I just weaved that into my posts. Okay, it wasn't salesy, it wasn't pushy, it was me enjoying a really amazing lifestyle program. I shared my results, I shared what I loved, and I added value to other people. Okay, so it's really important to know that I did all the 3 things that we ask you guys to do. Teachable, willing to do, be a product of the product, okay? I did that and I got started really strong. So I got to SDVF in my first 3 weeks. I probably did, I don't know, it was probably 8 to 9 customers in those first 3 weeks, my own personal customers. And I got my first team member. So getting my first team member. So I had all the belief in the product that you could possibly need. I'd been on the product and the program for 6 months. So I already had amazing results to share. I wasn't full up on knowledge about the product, but I was an action taker. So if you've ever seen the bank, blueprint, action taker, nurturer or knowledge, if you've ever seen that list, I'm not going to go into it now, but you can go and Google bank and go and figure out who you are and maybe even assess your team. I was an action taker, okay? So I didn't want to know everything about the product because that was just going to just freak me out because I'd never remember it all. And if I had to regurgitate that to someone, I think I would poo my pants. So I really honestly, Nat's laughing at me, but honestly, I didn't want to know everything about the product. It freaked me out. Peter's laughing too. Thanks, Peter. But yeah, I really honestly thought if I had to retain all of that information, this was not going to be for me. I'm not good at exams. I'm not good at speeches. I can't remember that stuff. I'd need palm cards and I'd sweat. So I was an action taker. I was like, yep, tell me a task. I'm going to go do it. I'll think about the consequences later and someone will be there to kind of take over with that knowledge stuff. And so that's where I utilized the 3-way calls with my customers. And then when it came to getting team, I was like, okay, I don't have the belief in this industry yet. I've never done network marketing. Well, I tried with one company a long time ago, but trying really, I didn't even get started. Let's just say that. So that wasn't really even a try, but I didn't have any at all belief in this industry. So it's like, how am I going to go out and invite someone to join me in a business that I don't even have my own belief about yet? Like, seriously, how am I going to do that? So again, I'm an action taker. So I'm up to Adam and Lorraine and they're like, right, Kate, you've just got loads of volume. Like, you're way past DVF. You've done SDVF. We just need a team, right? Let's get it done. I'm like, team. Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I don't know how I'm going to do that. And they're like, okay, well, just do a post. And so I did a post and not really much came of that. I did a launch. Not really much came of that either. Nobody really wanted to take a look. And I was like, okay. So I was like, what else am I going to do? And so, I did all the things they asked me to do. And I know a lot of you are out there doing that too, and it hasn't really quite worked. I mean, hands up who did a launch and got nothing out of their launch. Hands up. No team, no orders, nothing out of their launch. Sweet. Look at that. We've got, some SCs. We've got an SSC, almost QNMD. We've got another SSC, almost QNMD, right, guys? The launch is not about being, the maker or breaker of your success. It's just about doing the activity. So I did the activity, I did the post, and I still didn't have a team member, right? And I was like, oh my God, I don't even know how to do this. And I wasn't having conversations because, let's be real, I didn't have the belief that A, this was going to work for me, and B, that I wanted to actually join someone else and not know if it was going to work for them. So I just built my muscle around that belief, and I did the things they said to do. Jim Rohn, GoPro, MLM Nation. I was an action taker and I did what they asked me to do. So I went and did that. I was like, okay, I think I can do this now. I think I can start having conversations. So instead of posting and saying I'm looking for team and all of this, I actually started having individual conversations and just practicing with people. Just saying, hey, how are you? You know, what's going on for you? How's work? And I did this with a colleague that I used to work with at the convention centre, right? So I think everyone can think of someone they used to work with, or maybe they currently work with, that they know absolutely hates their job. Like, this guy detested being in hospitality more than anyone I could even imagine. And it was almost a joke sometimes when he rocked up to work, and I was thinking, how are you going to make anyone feel hospitable or give them service? Like, he hated it. So I was like, oh, you know, I was just chatting to him. Hey, how are you going? You know, how's work? What are you up to? Oh, I'm still at the convention centre. Oh, gosh, you're still there. I remember how much you hated it. Do you still hate it? He's like, yeah, I still hate it. Can't believe I'm still there. I'm like, oh, have you thought of doing anything else? He goes, yeah, I did. You know, I tried this job and, you know, it just got me nowhere. It was so frustrating and it was costing me money and it wasn't working. And so I went back to the convention centre. I was like, oh, no, that must be like really soul destroying. Like, that must suck. He's like, yeah, and I just cannot wait to get out of there. I'm like, oh, well, you know, I don't know if you know, but recently I've started an online business where I can just work from my phone. Like, you've got a smartphone, you've got a phone, right? He goes, yeah, I do. I go, you're on Facebook, aren't you? He goes, yeah, I am. And I go, well, seriously, man, that's all I do. That's how I do my business. I've got a phone and I'm on Facebook, and I've started an online business. And he's like, oh, okay. And I go, and it's built around an amazing health product and health program, and I get to help people with their health and also create an online business. He's like, oh, okay, cool. Well, yeah, I mean, that sounds really awesome. I'm like, okay, well, you know, why don't I just, you know, send you a link and you can take a look and see if it's something for you. So basically that conversation, that like 20 seconds of courage, that got me my first team member. And, you know, he watched a link, he looked at the product, he came to one of our Thursday night events, and, you know, he was my first team member and I was SDVF within my first 3 weeks. So I just wanted to show you how, you know, when we say getting started strong means that you need to be teachable, you need to be willing to do a few things, and you need to be a product of the product. Honestly, guys, it works. You know, I'm not saying it was all rosy and easy for me, and there were definitely parts of my belief that were lower than others, but just do the action. You know, even if you're a blueprint person or you're a knowledge person or whatever, you can still go and do the action. And, you know, I like to think of, I think recently I've heard the analogy of, you know, Eeyore, and when we're being Eeyore and we're in, you know, our gloomy place and everything's hard and tough and my life's difficult and all that. And then I look at the people in Pooh's little community, and I was definitely Tigger. And I think everyone here would understand that Lorien is like Tigger on like, yeah, some sort of juice. So he's like Tigger overload. But in the beginning, I was Tigger. I was action taker. I was just, let's do this. Let's get it done. Let's see what happens. I'll figure it all out later because I'm not a knowledge person. Someone else will tell that stuff, or I'll send a link, or they can look at the website and read it. So I was Tigger. So I got SDVF done, and I'm Tigger, and I'm pumped, and I'm like, you know, jumping around the forest. And then life got in the way. Life just like hit me like a ton of bricks. And I'd taken on renovating my house, and for my company that I worked for, I was working from home. So I was renovating my house, trying to get work done, and, you know, it was just crazy, crazy stress. And then I lost my auntie really suddenly. She had a stroke and she was in Victoria. It's my only auntie on my mum's side, and my mum's a widower, so it really hit me really hard, and we couldn't go down, and it was all around my birthday, and I'm Eeyore. Like, I am just like face down. Fuck, this is too hard. Life is too hard. I'm Eeyore, like, I'm totally heartbroken. I've lost my auntie. I'm renovating my house. This is too much stress. Why am I doing a business? I must be freaking crazy. I can't do this. And I'm in Eeyore's little gloomy paddock in the forest, not getting me out. I'm here. I've done SDVF. I've qualified. Don't even know how I qualified. Because I was Tigger and I was action taker. You know, I got to SDVF and I qualified, and then life hit me and I went to Eeyore. And I was like, I'm Eeyore. I'm in Eeyore's paddock. And I was like, no, I'm out. I just can't do this. And anyway, Lorian's my personal trainer and he's Tigger all the time. And Tigger's like bouncing around going, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Well done. So good for you. But I'm Eeyore. Like, I just don't want to know. I'm just Eeyore. So anyway, I had to, the third sort of, nail in the coffin for me with the life is so hard was I had to go to Adelaide during the school holidays in July last year. And I was just devastated that I was going to be away, and love Adelaide. Please, Adelaide people, don't get me wrong. But to be there in July in school holidays without your family and there was no sun for about 5 days was devastating. Like, so devastating. I felt every single possible feeling of homesickness you could feel. I felt it. I physically felt unwell. Anyway, I was actually in the car driving to a meeting in Adelaide, and I had my headset in and I was ringing my husband, and I was just like a mess. I was just crying my eyes out. I was complete Eeyore, just going, I have to quit my job. When I get home, I have to quit my job. I have to find another job. This is just heartbreaking. I can never do this again. I don't even know why I'm here. I don't even enjoy it. I need another job, right? And before I went away, I said to Lorian, look, I'm not quitting, but just give me some space. Just give me time. Tigger bouncing around Eeyore was like, oh, man, like, seriously, I can't do with Tigger at the moment. I'm Eeyore, so, just leave me alone. And to his credit, he did. He left me alone. And I went away to gloomy Adelaide in winter, and it was perfect for Eeyore. I love it. Thank you so much. Someone saying you have so much strength and courage. Thank you. Perfect conditions for Eeyore in Adelaide, and I was in Eeyore. But then I had, Eeyore kind of had his enough is enough moment, and that was me. I kind of went, that's it. This is absolutely it. I hate my job. I hate my life. I hate being here. Something has to change. And my first thought was, right, I'll just quit my job and I'll go get another shitty job. That's it. I'll just quit this job and I'll go get another shitty job. And anyway, Lorian, he's just an absolute masterful leader. He went, you know what, I can't do anything for Kate anymore. I'm Tigger. She's Eeyore. Tigger does not want to talk to Eeyore, and Eeyore does not want to talk to Tigger. So Tigger goes away and he backs off, and he sends in Linda, the Velvet Hammer. And she says Cheryl Cortez is the Velvet Hammer. Well, Linda's like the cotton glove slap in the face. She rang me up. Well, she sent me a message and said, look, I'd really love to connect, hun. I was SDVF, right, in Linda's team. Like, who was I? Seriously, I was nobody. In Team Spirit, I was SDVF. Yes, I was a qualified business, but, oh, my God, there were just like the Kate Gollets, the Kira Westwicks, the Lauren Berries, the this, the that, and I'm like just Eeyore Kate Robinson. Why is she ringing me? I'm like, yeah, sure. Yep, give me a call. So I had a chat with Linda, and I was my complete Eeyore, woe is me self. Oh, thanks, Shannon. I'm glad this is helpful for people. And anyway, she said to me, why did you start this business, Kate? Tell me. Let's go right back. Let's go why you started this. And I was like, well, I was about to quit personal training because I had no time left, and I was just really struggling to, make ends meet financially and be there for the boys and all their activities and work and be a mother. And it was just like too hard. So I was just going to quit personal training. And Lorian said to me again, why did you say no to this business? And I was like, well, I don't have enough time. And he said, but what you're doing, is it creating time? Is it creating that financial security? Is it giving you, what you want? And I was like, no, it's not. He's like, well, what have you got to lose? He's like, I can show you how to do it in 10 minutes a day. I'm sure you're on the couch at some point of an evening watching TV. 10 minutes of watching TV and I'll show you how you can start the business. And I was like, okay, sure, why not? So I told Linda that story. I was like, that was me, why not? And she's like, Kate, is that still important? Do you still want to be at home with your boys? Do you want to be happy? Do you want to be fulfilled? Do you want to feel like a good wife and a good mother? I'm like, yes, I want that every day, but I'm just this screaming, crazy nightmare. And now I'm stuck in Adelaide. My kids are in vacation care. My mum is in her 70s running around after them. And I'm just having a pity party, like crying my eyes out to my husband going, I've got to quit my job. She's like, Kate, we can do this. You've done like the first two and most important steps in the business. You've got to SDVF and you've got qualified and you're still qualified. Why are you beating yourself up? Like, that's done. The rest now is easy and I can help you through that if it's still important to you. And I'm like, Linda, it's so important to me. I don't want to quit my job to get another shitty job. I want to make this work, but I'm so freaking scared and I don't believe I have what it takes. And I really don't know much about this industry. I'm building my belief, but it's not there yet. She's like, Kate, that's everything we can work on if you still want this. And so we had a good hard chat. She told me all the stuff that she tells everyone. Get out of the way and put this forward again and see what comes forward. You know, put it out on the line. Tell the universe this is what you're going to do. You're not going to quit your job. You're going to make this business happen. And this is what's going to get you out of your shitty job and get you happy again, being a happy mom, a happy wife, and earning the income you deserve. And I was like, right, yeah, okay, good, let's do this. So I put a post on Facebook and I simply just had the capsules in my hand. I was in a depressing little apartment all on my own in Adelaide. And I just said, oh my God, I am so thankful I have this little handful of, vitality that's just getting me through this doomy, gloomy week that I have in Adelaide without my family. I physically feel sick, but I feel so much stronger knowing I'm putting this into my body every day and getting the nutrients I need while living out of a hotel room. And then it was like the universe answered me. So it sent me my second team member, who was my first believer. So my first team member, he came and he saw and he thought it was all great. But then as soon as he was asked to do a few things, he was gone. So you know what? That's okay. It got me to SDVF, but he's no longer here today and he won't be here to get me to NMD. But it's not about that. So I got my second team member and my first believer, and that's Michaela Roberts. She's one of our UK freestylers, and she's absolutely rocking the business. She's a mum of twins, stay-at-home mum of twins. Her husband's in the army and often away. And anyway, she was just jumped on my post because I'd maintained being a product of the product. I'd maintained sharing and posting. Even though I was in Eeyore, I was still sharing and posting positive things. And yeah, I took days off posting when I was really Eeyore and didn't feel like it. But I came back on with this post and she just jumped at me going, I want it. I need it. She was throwing her credit card at me across from the UK and just get me on it. Sign me up with a wholesale account. I've got to get it cheaper because I've got no money. I'm like, whoa, just slow down. Hold on. Let's just follow the system. She's like, no. Just do it all now. Do it all now. I'm like, no. I'd be shocked if we didn't follow the system. You're going to watch an event, all right? You're going to watch a recording and then we'll get you started. She's like, okay. And so she's a massive Tigger action taker as well. So for her to sit through an event was like pulling teeth. But I made her sit through Mummy's on a Mission and she did it. She watched it and then again she was back on the phone. Yep, here's my credit card. Just take it. Just order whatever you think I need. Put it on wholesale and whatever and blah, blah, blah. And yep, let's go. And off she went. And like that was my first believer. And I would definitely say if it wasn't for her, Well, I know if it wasn't for that phone call with Linda, I wouldn't have done that post and I wouldn't have put it out to the universe that this was going to be the thing that got me out of my job. So anyway, so off we went again, and I got back from Adelaide, and I had a renewed energy that I was no longer going to quit my shitty job. I was going to suck it up, but I was going to promise myself that this year, so the following year, I was going to quit my job and I was going to be, 100% earning my income from Juice Plus and my Juice Plus business. So, and that's what I did. I went to work for that goal and that vision. I put it up there, and I was like, I had 2 trips this year that was going to be ahead of me. One of them was in one of them was in Bunbury in WA in July, and the second one would have been in Perth in September, both in school holidays again. So I was like, okay, I'll set my plan. I'll go to Bunbury in July, but I will not be going back to Perth in September. I will quit my job before September. And I put it up there. I told Lauren and Adam, this is what I'm doing. This needs to be done by September next year. This is what I need to be earning. This is where I need to be. And I need to do this by this time. So that's it. We just went to work. And, I think, you're going to have times in your life where life gets in the way, and it's going to slap you, and it's going to be a roadblock, and you're going to struggle. So I just want to show hands now. Who's currently dealing with a roadblock situation? Roadblocks. Look at them all. Awesome. Okay. So I'm not going to pick anyone, but is anyone bold enough to share their roadblock and what's going on for them? Who's brave enough to share? Anyone? Natty? Okay, Nat, I'm going to take you off mute. I love your hand. Here's Nat, my sister-in-law, who was that really awkward conversation, 3-way call.
Yeah, that was a top call, Kate. Can still remember that one.
Yeah,
well, lots and lots of fun.
You can thank me when you MD 12 Club, sweetheart.
I guess my roadblock at the moment is that I am sitting just short of my QNMD, and it's been a goal for a little while. So I've had been within a close range of it, and it's sort of been sitting there at my arm's length. And my roadblock is really my reaching out for team. And it's still to this day that, the conversation of that I've got what it takes to help that person. Yeah.
So it's your own self-belief, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'll lose my headphones here in a minute. Sorry.
That's all right.
I lost my actual headphones, hence why I have these disgusting ones on.
So when you look around, Nat, at your amazing team, when you look at the faces in your team, you look at Danielle and Sam, and you look at Vanessa, Kylie, the lives that you've changed, the opportunities that they've had and the experiences they've had in the short time that they've been a part of your business and learning from you. When you look at them, do you think, oh, that I didn't do that. That was done by someone else. Someone else did that.
To a point, I would say probably yes. I do still do that, definitely, because I look at them and I go, it was my belief that got them there, but I guess it was my belief in the system and the products, but not necessarily my belief in myself that got them there.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think everyone at some point, I mean, just to show of hands, has anyone had, some lack of self-belief on this journey, just to show of hands, that they could actually do this, that, they could be a good leader? Yep, they could actually look after customers and help them. Yep. So, I think that's so amazing, Nat, that you're brave enough to share that. And I think the thing that and Nat would know what I would say to her next is, what are you going to do to go to work on that issue? Like, what do you know within all of the amazing resources that we have available to us pretty much for free? What can you do to go and work on that roadblock? So just really quickly, Nat, now that you know that you're facing that limiting self-belief.
I did some things today actually that I was, so as Kate's always told me, we've had this conversation many times, is the hardest thing, or the thing that you find hardest, is the thing that you have to do first. So for me, obviously, reaching down into I've got a team of, I think it's nearly 60 people, and I don't know them at all, most of them. But reaching down into that team and, you know, I guess getting to know them and understanding a little bit more about them, but also sharing that my story is enough. Was probably something that I'd never shared with any of them. So today I did my very first live video. I've never ever done a live video.
Well done.
So not bad. 14 months in the business and never done a live. So
good job.
That was scary as all shit, to be honest. But you know, definitely something that I've put off. I can run a Zoom and I can send people invites, but when it comes down to doing something raw and live and potentially having people judge me based on whether I did a good enough live, scares the pants off me. So
I'm proud of you, Nat. What else can you do to build your self-belief?
Oh, how many different videos can I watch?
What's something you can do every day? Start a gratitude.
I can do my yep.
I'm
do my gratitude journal.
Some powerful I am statements.
Yeah, probably. Yep.
And you know, the one thing that used to scare me the most, and yeah, I go to work on self-development, and definitely Lorian would encourage me to go to work on self-development. So I would, you know, sorry, I'm just going to go back to gallery view. I would listen to MLM Nation. I would, you know, do my gratitude, and I do my I am statements. But when I was at your point, Nat, where, you know, you're on the edge of promotion and it's so within your reach, there's a few things you've got to do and they feel like they're the giant hurdle, like they're the highest hurdle out there on the field and you don't know how you're going to get over that hurdle. But you're right there, right? You're right at the hurdle. It's not like you've got to go and jump 10 hurdles to get there. You're at the last hurdle. It's just a bit higher than every other hurdle because it's the last hurdle. So what they used to sort of say to me was, you know, I'd be freaking out about this last hurdle and getting this promotion done. And Adam would do it every time. He's like, babe, that's done. You've done QNMD. Stop thinking about QNMD. Let's focus on NMD, okay? Now let's sit down and let's map out NMD. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I haven't even done QNMD yet. What are you doing to me? You're just going to freak me out. He's like, no. That's done. Like, literally, that's just like a few things you've got to do and it's done. Let's talk about NMD. Let's start thinking about NMD. And now I realize what he was doing was I was so fixated on QNMD or whatever it is, like for Nat, it's QNMD at the moment, that I'd be so fixated on that he would just open me up to look past that. And if I looked past that, if I looked to that greener pasture over that hurdle, to the beautiful lake that was on the other side and all the fun and activity that was happening over there, that I would get my ass up, get over that friggin' hurdle and get in the next paddock. So it was really, really masterful of Adam and Lorian to do that, to go, hey, that's just a hurdle. That's just the last hurdle. But did you look at what's on the other side? Did you see that there's just this whole like paddock of people at QNMD with a nice big lake and a big pool, and you know they're all going on leadership retreats and they're going to NMD school, and you know this can be you can be in that paddock, in that amazing community too. Just get over that goddamn hurdle. But let's look at what NMD looks like. And so I took my eyes off the hurdle, right, and I looked over and I was like, damn it, yep, that sounds amazing, I want to get there. So I did. I shifted my focus and I went, you know what? QNMD's done. I'm going to be NMD. What do I need to do to make NMD happen? So when I stopped thinking about QNMD, when I stopped thinking about that hurdle, I looked at what was beyond it and all the opportunity that that was going to bring me. And it wasn't just about the money. I mean, I got to tell you that, back when I was SDVF and I'd come back from Adelaide and I'd had that whole, Eeyore moment and enough is enough. This is going to be the thing that gets me out of work. I went back and everyone started talking about US conference because I'd missed the Australian conference, which was in March last year. I think it was around March last year in Hamilton Island. And I'd literally not long started. So I pretty much started and the whole leadership team disappeared for an amazing weekend away in Hamilton Island. And, that just happened. And so I didn't get to go to Australian conference. And to be honest, I don't even know how I would have afforded to go. But so I came back and everyone's starting to talk about US conference. And I'm just like, there's no way I'm going, like just zero. My passport is so expired. I don't even know where it is. And I can't get time off work. There's no way my husband's going to let me go. No way. So I was still like, Eeyore was gone and I was in action, but Tigger wasn't going to bounce to the US. That was just not going to happen. So anyway, after a phone call with Linda jumped on the phone and I had to rally my whole team. Nat will remember this. I had to rally my whole team and we had to get on a phone call with Linda. Linda was going to give us half an hour of her time and everyone's like, yeah, let's get on the call. Whoa, this is awesome. And Linda's right. The most important event of the year is happening, US conference. And if you want to make this business happen, if you want to be NMD, you're going to get on that plane and you're going to get to conference. And this is why this is important. Like, this is the big picture. This is going to teach you everything you need to know. This is going to open your eyes up to what's possible beyond belief. And I was like, oh my God, what is she saying? Like, I'm not going to the US. I'm not expecting, Nori's hun, I'm not expecting my team to go to the US if I'm not going. How can I expect them to go? Like, this is crazy talk. Anyway, one of my team, Sam Willis, who's also about to go QNMD, she pipes up and puts her hand up and she's like, what date's that on? I might be able to make that. And I'm like, holy crap. I mean, she's my downline's downline. So she's like, a couple away from me. If she goes and I don't go, what's going to happen? Like, fear of missing out completely set in. And Linda and Laurie and Adam were like, well, you've got a team member going. You'd want to get there too. And I was like, holy crap. Now I've got to sell this to my husband, who was just loved Juice Plus because he was on the product, loved the JBT, but did not believe in MLM, didn't believe that this was, an actual viable option for earning an income. So I was like, how am I going to, I'm SDVF, right? I'm not even SC. How am I going to go back and say I'm going to the States? And I'm like, but you know what? If Linda and Adam and Laurie say I need to do it and I'm teachable, I'm going to do what they tell me to do, I'm going to have to go and have that hard conversation with Brett. So I went and I had the hard conversation with Brett, and Brett was still like, do you think you're earning enough money in this business to go? And I'm like, no, probably not. He's like, well, do you think that, you're going to come back and be able to earn more? And I said, well, yes, I definitely think so. I mean, I'm looking at the case studies ahead of me, and Lorian went last year. Adam went last year. Adam's now closed his gyms. So history shows that, yeah, it does change your business. And he was starting to open up a little bit, but still the cost was holding him back. So Lorian and Adam and Linda offered to have a chat to him, and he came to a Thursday night event and had a chat to them. And he just realised that, they were all there. Their partners were there. So James and Kira were there as well. And they just all echoed the same thing. They felt in the beginning, just like Brett, that, it wasn't possible, it wasn't real. But by going to the US and seeing it on, the big scale of what it could be, that they all really changed their vision and their belief, and it transformed their business. So he did give me the blessing and I went. And so I'm back in Tigger mode, and I'm like, right, I'm going to the States now and I'm taking a team member with me, which just blew my mind because I only started in March and it was now September, October. I was like, but oh my God, like I'm only SDVF. Like I've got to make this worthwhile in my mind. I've got to show Brett that I'm really going to make a go of this, my husband. So I was like, right, I'm going to be SC and I'm going to walk the stage at conference. So if you're an SC or above, you get recognised on the stage at conference. I'm like, that's it, I'm doing it. That's it, I'm getting SC done. So I had my first believer, Michaela, and then my second believer, Natalie, finally came back to me after that awkward conversation and said, all right, Kate, I really need this now. I need the products and I don't know about the business. I'm really not sure, but I'm willing to have a look. So, she got started and that's where Sam came from, right? Sam had FOMO. And so Sam started as well. And Sam was the one that came to the States with me. And I honestly did. I set my intention to get SC done before conference. And I went to Adam and Lorian and I said, what do I need to do it? And what actions do I need to get it? And I just got into action and I did it. So I think, really leaning on the system, guys, asking your leaders what you need to do to achieve what your goal is and being consistent about doing it. So I think out of today, like I don't want to go on for too long now. It's like 12:36. But I just want to show you how, after I went to the States, and, I was definitely back as Tigger. Tigger was back and Tigger was ready to bounce and make stuff happen. But I just wanted to show you that, you're going to yourself have moments in life that are just going to slap you and stop you. But if you just are open enough and honest enough with your support team, tell them shit's going on, tell them if you need a break, but be honest, be open, then they can actually help you through that. And, just be really mindful if you've got Eeyores in your business that Tiggers and Eeyores don't really get along, right? They're not the same people. They're not going to help one another, but you can call on other people to help, right? Help out your Eeyore. And if you're an Eeyore, just own it. I was Eeyore and one of the best training calls ever. Oh, thanks, Shannon. Don't tell Lorian. But yeah, look, I think, if you are Eeyore, then just own it. But, realize that Eeyore's gloomy place doesn't have to be the only place that you stay in. Tigger will come back and Tigger will bounce. Tigger will get shit done. So I think just be open, be honest. But really, I just wanted to show you guys really quickly how my business got started really strong, and I was teachable, I was in action, and I was a product of the product. And, I think everything in our business can be broken down to 3 steps. Just about every single thing that you're facing is just 3 steps. So ask up, right? What are those 3 steps I need to do? And do the 3 steps. We've got a step-by-step checklist. I don't care what level you're at. I challenge you all to go and do this for yourself, okay? If you're a leader, you've got another checklist. If you haven't printed it out, if you're not writing it for each and every team, please start. I don't care what level they're at either. Why not just have a quick catch-up call and say, hey, listen, just want to go over the checklist. I know you're an SC now, but I just want to see where you're at, what you've actually done. And, they might tell you to go away. It's not really worthwhile, but at least you've shown that you care and that you're trying. But I challenge you all, no matter where you are in this business, and I know I'm going to do it. I'm going to walk the talk. I'm going to do this checklist for myself, and I'm going to see what I actually haven't done or am not currently doing, okay? And even if it says on there, have a launch event, why not have another launch event, okay? You're not brand new. It doesn't matter. But I'm certain there's still people in your life that are on your chicken list that you've never told what you're actually doing. Show of hands if you know about 3 people close to you that really don't know what you're up to. Show of hands. 3 people that don't know. Right. Okay, there's 3 launches. 4 relaunches right there. Invite those 3 people and add 17 more names to the list. Honestly, I challenge you. We can all do this, and we can all be better leaders if we know what it is that we're asking our team to do. So let's get there. Let's utilize the system. And really, guys, if you get new team, I encourage everyone, don't throw them into Team Freestyle or Team Freedom or Team Spirit yet. Okay, let's nurture our new team and put them in the SDVF group only. Walk them through 4 simple documents to get started. Do the checklist with them, okay? And they've just got a few videos to watch. SDVF will happen if they're willing to do, they're teachable, and their products are the product. 3 steps, okay, guys? Break everything down that you're facing into 3 steps. If you can't break it down, ask up, and someone will help you break it down to 3 simple steps, and you'll get over that roadblock. Look at the paddock beyond that roadblock. Find out what that looks like, what that's going to mean for you, okay? And then you'll look past the hurdle and you'll look at the next paddock. So for Tamara, she's looking at QNMD, guys, but I'm going to encourage Tamara to stop focusing on that hurdle, sweetheart. Honestly, best thing I ever did, sweetheart, honestly, like, I'm going to tell you the truth, was the guys made me look at what NMD was going to mean. You know, I was going to get invited to leadership retreat. I was going to go to NMD school. All these great things were on the other side, not just the check of $6,000 to $8,000 or $10,000 a month, but I was going to get all these amazing benefits that came with NMD. And I was like, my God, that paddock, that pool, get me in there, seriously. And so the hurdle of QNMD just got lower and lower and lower because the vision on the other side was exactly what I wanted. And anyone who's got a hurdle in front of them, Q, SC, SSC, go to your upline, ask them what the next level looks like. Not just money, but opportunity. And look at that pool, look at that place, look at those people. And I guarantee you're going to want in to what they're getting and what you're not. And you're going to make it a reality if you focus over the hurdle. Awesome. Okay, team. Thanks, Tamara. Thanks so much, everyone, for being on. I hope I haven't rambled on too long. I'll just quickly have a look at the chat before we close. That's awesome. Thank you so much. They're saying thanks. Sal's one of my very brand new team members. So congratulations, honey, for jumping on. She said, thank you. This is so possible. It's encouraging, awesome training. Thank you. Go Tamara, says Shannon. So we're all here behind you. We've got so many cues about to happen in our team, which is just phenomenal. Di says, thank you. I'm new. This is so helpful. I have to go now. That's fine, honey. Best training call ever. I love that, Shannon. And everyone's just wishing Nat the best as well. I'll thank you for saying that I have strength and courage. All right, awesome, guys. Well, if there's any questions, please feel free to jump off mute and we can answer some questions now before we end. Anyone got any burning questions? Nobody? That's fine. Well, I'll just unmute everyone and you guys can all say bye and jump off.
Yes.